Hey guys, welcome back to another Vanguard video. Today we're talking about the June to July monthly shop promos, as well as giving a decklist and example for each one. So the 6 brand new cards are featuring support for Jheva, Direfull Dolls, Eva Support, the new Divine Sister Grade 3 boss, Stochea Token Generic, and High 5. And the reprints are Freezing Wave, A Warrior's Rest, and Nectar of Sensationalism. So the first promo is High 5, which is the Chase, aka the most sought after and expensive promo in the pack, as the generic support for Lyrical Monsasterio in the form of an order card. High 5 is a normal order that can also be played from draw for Counterblast 1. If you have a Vanguard with a Divine skill, then you can play it without paying for the cost. On play, you bind this card, draw one, and reveal a card from your hand. You call the reveal card to the rearguard circle if it's a unit with grade less than or equal to your Vanguard, and discard it if not. If you successfully called and you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard, until end of turn that called unit gets plus 5k power and the red text auto scale off. When this unit leaves the rearguard circle, you choose one of your units and it gets plus 5k until end of turn. So do note this can give power to rearguard or Vanguard. Its main use is in lyrical decks with divine skills, which are Krysrain and Lisciafael, as both have mechanics which cause a unit to leave a rearguard circle. Krysrain activates it through the divine skill as it resolves, and then the next check timing can still occur, and Lisciafael through its shove rearguards to soul cost for EV3 to gain dry +1. The lyrical generic of all-time Yukiko that returns rearguards after boosting to hand, and other effects that retire themselves or move units to soul can also activate the red text. This 5k power increase to your Vanguard or Resender of course makes guarding for the whole turn a lot more difficult. This order also gives all lyrical decks access to Blackwing generics, which are celestial support cards that are active when your bind zone only has even grades. So a strong combo that opens up for a deck such as Charmout is grabbing pieces or even perfect guards from soul through Heavenly Recital Emmael. Though I do want to disclaim that in JP they just got an errata that Blackwings does not activate unless you're an celestial Vanguard, so we'll see if this comes to English soon or within the next ban list. We have support cards like Aurealis that can shove any card from drop into soul, easily setting up Emmael without impacting your numbers much, as all your rearguards are going to match Vanguard's power through Charmout's auto. If you have space, the lyrical generic aura here can also search High 5 or other order cards such as your Regulus or Elementary from deck, so I expect the lyrical chefs to be cooking. So here's a sample Charmout list from a JP channel that I'll link down below. They're playing the Festival 2025 support card Watch Your Step Myra as an extra opportunity in soul to salvage normal units from drop to call out from soul from the rearguard pleasure. So more focus on consistency pieces over salvaging PGs. You can replace the Festival 2025 card with Emmael to try out the list. On the other hand, this Lisciafael list from another JP channel is also pretty straightforward and gives you the basic rundown of the deck. You can swap out cards like Lilina out for the Guard Restrict Lasiga, maxing out Valifer, or Yukiko to 4, but the idea of the deck is there. So this next promo, Pollution Monster Polpollute, supports monster decks that use set orders. Its first skill gives plus 5k shield if your order zone has this research set order, making a 10k shield early game immediately in decks such as Archite, Eva, and Edglima that play Rideline units that immediately research orders to play turn 1 and 2. If you don't guard with it to get into drop, you can instead ditch it for your ride deck. This is because once in drop, you can then add it to the order zone through cards such as Torrential Research to activate its second ability. The second ability is the act in order zone that you can pay the cost of binding this card to choose a set order for your drop and put it to your hand. Then if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Edglima as card name, you can choose up to one set order from your hand and put it directly into the order zone. Funnily enough, despite appearing to be a support card for Edglima, it's mainly found in Eva due to adding a set order without using any counterblast or soul. Edglima doesn't usually play this as Moflash is a way faster way to set up high set order counts, and your deck space is already really tight for monster ratios and maxing cards like Tecteon or Savio. You'll usually find this in Eva lists at 2. This promo is extremely helpful in grind games where you lose set orders to the damage zone or run out of set orders in deck. By adding a research to your hand to play for a turn, you can then set up Imigrar and your superior ride into Poison in Paradise plus activating Persona Ride. It can salvage set orders to draw from hand, essentially plusing you 1 or more, setting up your entire turn-wide play. While most of your set orders in Eva do remain in the order zone, Research henceforth can put itself to soul, and soul busting out is really easy. So Eva can effectively never run out of set orders to play and infinitely loop Persona Ride until deck out due to imprisoning past, returning glitter units back to deck. So here's a first place list from Vanguard Paradox that won the Oshiruko Cup. Note this is a post-Festival 2025 list running the Ace unit, which you can swap out for a third Combine Rusher. The grade 1 gun mobile gets plus 5k when you have 2 or more set orders and plus 10k when you have 3, so it's an 18k booster and excellent early game card as it will scale up every turn to keep attacking your opponent. Also the Regulus is usually fire instead of twin cast, but here it's just preference to have more defense in the deck. For Now Forget the Passage of Time is a grade 1 set order supporting Direfull Dolls aka Android and sets up the deck's game plan of building soul and thinning normal doll units out of your deck. You can play this card if you have Vanguard with Direfull Doll in its card name, and auto when it's put into the order zone, you look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 normal unit with Direfull Doll, and grade less than or equal to your Vanguard for among them, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle the deck. It also has the act in order zone that if you have a Vanguard with Direfull Doll in its card name, which you always will, you can put this card into drop and choose up to 2 cards with Direfull Doll with different card names from your drop and put them into your soul. Due to it being a grade 1 set order, you can play this as early as turn 1, deck thinning with the first auto immediately and getting 2 souls set up later from drop with ease. When combined with other Direfull Dolls such as Promo Tarquininia to thin non-triggers out of your deck, your chances of hitting triggers with Angel's Triple Drive are greatly increased. Both promos are massive upgrades to the deck for consistency in executing its game plan. Previously, recruiting soul was also really awkward as you had to boost using Pelagia or guard with the grade 3 Doll Liberata on Guardian Circle. The deck also has good name boosters such as Bartolomea to countercharge or Conserata to deck that even further for no cost. So here's a decklist preset 8. Of course you see 4 both of the promos with Twin Casts here, and Evergreen Transfer also works as a defensive Regulus if you want to be more budget. There's also 4 of the countercharge booster and multi-attack, and do know if you are playing this deck that you do need the crit and heal named Direfull Dolls. Divine Sister and Arrozconleche has its debut as a grade 3 Killer Sanctuary boss unit in this promo pack focused around cards with Divine Sister in their card name. Her first act on Vanguard is once per turn to counter +1 to look at the top 7 cards of your deck, and choose up to 2 cards with Divine Sister from among them and reveal them. You choose a card from among the revealed cards, put it into your hand, you call the remaining revealed cards to your rearguard circle and the cards not chosen on the bottom of deck in any order. The second ability is the auto on Vanguard that once per turn when this unit attacks, you may pay the cost to soul boss 1 card with Divine Sister in its card name, to then choose one of your rearguards with Divine Sister in its card name, stand it, and it gains the red text skill of auto when this unit attacks. This unit gets plus 5k power to end a battle for each grade of this unit, and at the end of the battle, put it into soul. If you soul boss a card with the same card name as this unit, you choose 2 rearguards with Divine Sister to stand instead of 1. So the max attack this deck can do is 5, but usually it's 4, with the restand ability being fully online as soon as you ride up to grade 3, not being restricted by your opponent's Vanguard. Because the first skill lets you choose the order for the bottom of deck, if you went through deck fast enough through cards like Surgon, you can know your stack and upcoming triggers, but this is really hard to pull off as the deck isn't very defensive, and the hostage package is really awkward. So here's a sample deck list from the JP YouTube fight channel that I'll link down below. The key resource cards you'll see here are Dacoys to use the CB to draw a card when your other unit is placed by your card's ability, helping to potentially reach stack and build hand really fast. Fasciata is also here to countercharge 1 when it triggers Joe check, and Biscotti is great for keeping an early healthy hand when ditching for the ride deck. The key attackers are Bounier to get plus 15k when called off Vanguard along with an extra 15k for the red text ability since it's a grade 3, as well as Kunafa with the skill to end a battle if placed or stood by a Vanguard ability to shove itself to soul and give plus 5k to any unit until end of turn. This list also plays Langushat that is a 15k booster if you have a grade 3 or greater card in soul. So the next promo is Spin Equip Dragon Buzzsaw, and it's a Nirvana support promo, but it's used more in Jheva more so than Mahar due to it being a prayer dragon. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Nirvana, it gets the following 2 abilities. If you have a rearguard with Trickstar in its card name and you do not have a rearguard with the same card name as this unit, you can cost soul boss 1, call this card to rearguard circle, and at the end of the turn, it'll retire itself. The second is the auto that when it becomes an original dress, you can soul boss 1 to give the outer dress, aka the Verena crossover dress, on top power plus 5k until end of turn. It's helpful that the act and drop isn't tied to when Trickstar is placed like Cindy, so when you use Jheva's skill, you don't overfill your board. Also, since you're guaranteed a Trickstar off Jheva's ride line, Buzzsaw Dragon will be active immediately turn 3 once it's in drop. So you'll ideally call Trickstar and Prayer Dragon, then Cindy will go on standby, then you can use his act and drop to call him later after opening up a rearguard circle, such as using Cindy first to grab a Verena, then calling him to crossover dress into let's say Stravrina. So I'm a bit torn on this promo as someone that plays the deck. It's good support but not exactly what the deck needed, and your space is already so tight with one of Prayer Dragons and a Regulus piece. It also really hurts that it doesn't have a good effect in Mahar besides being a recurring booster for Soul Boss 1, but Cindy already fills this deck role and can put itself to Soul while salvaging a dress unit from drop. Definitely pick up a few for Nirvana, but I doubt you can fit more than 2 into the deck. So here's a sample Jheva list that I made on CFA. Personally, I do think you might need more Soul if you're running 1 to 2 or Bower Arena, so you could run Soul in fronts. You could run draws instead, or 20k fronts. I think either one is fine for preference. Personally, I would play more Verena cutting Draw House and Koldak, but this deck just has the problem of not finding a single crossover just unit from the ride line, so you just naturally have to find it. So that's why Fire Regulus is here, along with the check top 7 Blazeman and Alpru. At worst, you could call Stravrina, then overcall it with Argneas or Cindy, and then grab it back to your hand. So the last promo is Spinning Corolla Reminiese, and this card is honestly really strange to discuss because I couldn't really find any lists that use it, and even after asking a friend that plays Stokea. It has the auto on place on a rearguard circle with a token unit. You look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 glitter unit or up to 1 order card without Regulus piece from among them, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle the deck. The second skill is auto on rear. When this unit attacks a grade 3 or greater unit, if you have a token unit on your rear guard circle, this unit gets plus 5k until end of battle. It could replace the rare from DZ set 6 Edichelina and Roroa list, the differences being this can grab any order while Edichelina can only grab glitters, and that Edichelina doesn't stay on your board after grabbing a card while this promo does. The problem is that Stokea decks that you think would play this that use plant token support either, number 1, have better ways to access or add orders to hand, or number 2, are a deck trying to achieve a win turn 3 and 4 and need consistency pieces to hit massive numbers, for example like Gramphia. So that covers the brand new promos, and now for the reprints. Freezing Wave is a blitz order that soul bosses 1 to get plus 10k for every rest set order for that battle. It's the equivalent of a PG in decks that can utilize it very well. The decks you'll most often see this in are Eva and Dayusha/Dai Kaiser. as both rest their order zone easily and play multiple set orders usually aiming for 4, making Freezing Wave usually 30k, 40k, or even bigger in the late game. Riddle Visor can technically also use this as they keep the arenas, but many arena conditions are on hit, so it's a bit inconsistent when you could be playing more resource or attack cards. Nectar of Sensationalism is an old order card all the way from set 2 featuring Zorga. Do note that this also got hit with an errata in JP, so I don't know when this will come to English, but do be aware of that. It has no cost and its ability is to choose one of your rear guards, and until end of turn it gets power plus 5k for every 5 cards in your drop, and if your drop has 15 or more cards, it also gets crit plus 1. You'll often see it in green decks that grind for a long game, such as Night Rose, Sephiroth, and sometimes Leverdress as it can buff up Squirrel. Bulruga the Skyruler from set 9 can also play this because it revolves around filling up the drop, but the lists I've seen since set release don't play it as the focus on strong early game to rush down your opponent. A Warrior's Rest is a common from DZ set 1 for the cost of energy plus 2 and gives the ability to 2 units that when they're boosted to gain plus 10k until end of turn. Then if you have 5 or more units to draw 1. Honestly, one of the strangest reprints as it's a common, though you can get it as foil from the promo pack. A deck that I just covered that uses this is Dekakun from Corolla, due to how easily it is to get 5 on your board and get the draw 1. Other decks that play this are Luard, Houndriser maybe, and basically any Keter deck once it makes a board. Alright, so that covers every promo for June to July. Recording this right now, it's the 20th, so I'll see when it actually releases. But hopefully this time, it didn't take me like 2 months to make this video. I did put it off a bit. I actually had the script done in the first week, but I didn't want to push the production. I had other things that came up. So do let me know if you enjoy these kind of videos, and please do subscribe. Let me know what promo you're grabbing, and thank you so much for watching.